basically, mutual fund statement of account offers all transaction details carried out within a defined period of time. So whenever you make an investment in a mutual fund scheme, a fund house has to give you a statement of account providing all the details about your holding. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Kim from Rampver Financials. If this is your first time dropping by our channel, Rampver Financials is a complete one-stop shop for your financial needs. Our vision is to help people fulfill financial dreams. If you haven't subscribed yet in our channel, I will appreciate that if you will consider subscribing and click the notification down below so that you will get notified for whenever we posted new videos. And for those all of you who are already subscribed in our channel, I would like to take this chance to thank you for your continuous support, for dropping down your nice comments, for smashing that like button, and for sharing our videos. Always know that we appreciate and it means a lot to us. For today's video, our topic is all about mutual fund statement of accounts. Since Rampver Financials is one-stop shop, we carry over mutual funds from different companies. And these companies, we have SOLDIVO, Atram, Sun Life, First Metro, PhilEquity, and PhilAm. And these companies, they have their own style in presenting their statement to their investors. Meron pong iba na simple lang, pero meron din pong medyo complicated. Because whenever we receive our statement of accounts, especially if this is our first time, we hardly understand anything about it. Some of us briefly go through it and keep it aside in our table or store it in one of our folders and just let it stay there. So the maximum thing that we usually do when we read our statement of account is by checking if our names are mentioned correctly, kung tama ba yung fund na pinag-investan, and if the amount na ininvest ba natin, tama ba yung nag-reflect doon sa ating statement of account. But basically, mutual fund statement of account offers all transaction details carried out within a defined period of time. So whenever you make an investment in a mutual fund scheme, a fund house has to give you a statement of account providing all the details about your holding. You can opt for a physical copy or a soft one, but since we are already coping up with the easiest way possible, almost all of our statement accounts naman po are available online. You can request it via email, and these companies, they are sending statement of account in your email, and that's what we are calling ESOA or electronic statement of account every quarter. But before we proceed to the details that we can see in our statement of account, let us answer first this question. Because some of you are asking, Miss Kim, kailangan ba namin mag-preserve ng physical copy ng aming statement of account? And the answer to that is, it is not really necessary because all the details naman po concerning your investment is recorded in the system of the mutual fund company. So whenever you make a redemption or you want to purchase more shares, yung kailangan lang po na details na meron tayo is our folio number and at the same time, the fund name kung saan po tayo naka-invest. And then we have to fill out lang necessary forms so that we can proceed with the transaction. But what if, Miss Kim, I invested in this mutual fund company 5 years or 10 years ago and nakalimutan ko na kung anong fund ako nag-invest and kung ano yung folio number ko. So what am I gonna do? Where am I going to get those details? You don't have to worry because you can call naman po your agent, the distributor company, or the mutual fund house itself. So you can call them and you can ask for those details na kakailanganin mo so that you can move forward with your investment. And before we proceed to that, let us first discuss kung ano ba yung mga terminologies and details na usual na makikita natin in our statement of account. And we have here the following details like folio number, your statement date and period, you have your agent's name and details, and of course most especially is investors' personal details. So that's all about you. You have there the fund name, the outstanding shares, the current cost, and then the market value. So ito po yung usual na nakikita natin in our statement of account. But let us go through it one by one so that later on when I'm going to show you sample statements sa lahat ng mga partner companies natin, mas madali na lang po natin sundan kasi alam na natin yung meaning ng bawat details na nandoon. First that we have here is a folio number. So the folio number quoted on top of your mutual fund statement is a unique number assigned to your investments made with the mutual fund house. So lahat po ng mga mutual fund house natin, they are giving one folio number for all the investments that you have. So if you want to make further investments pero the same mutual fund house, ideally po, isang folio number lang yung gagamitin mo. For example, I am already invested in SOLDIVO Strategic Growth Fund Inc. But then, I want to diversify and open SOLDIVO Bond Fund. So yung folio number po na gagamitin ko for my bond fund is yung binigay sa akin for my SOLDIVO Strategic. So that, whenever I'm going to request for an account statement, they're going to give me one, but then it covers all the investments I have under them. Next thing that we can also see in our mutual fund statement is statement date and statement period. So ano po ba yung pinagkaiba nila? For the statement date, this is just the date kung kailan na-generate ang inyong statement of account. But for the statement period, so iba't iba po siya, nakadepende kung anong company, no? May iba na since inception or kung kailan nag-start yung mutual fund company up to the date kung kailan na-generate ang inyong statement of account. Yung iba naman po, kung kailan ka nag-start mag-invest, up to the date kung kailan na-generate ang inyong account. And then lastly, meron din pong year to date from January 1 up to the date kung kailan na-generate ang inyong statement of account. So yun po yung usual na types ng statement period na meron tayo. And we have here advisor's name and details. So this indicates lang yung source mo kung kanino ka nag-open ng mutual fund. So for example, if you open an account through an agent, then yung pangalan po niya yung magre-reflect dun sa inyong statement of account. Pero kung nag-open ka naman through a brokerage, so yung pangalan din naman po ng broker yung magre-reflect dun sa statement of account mo. And of course, the most important details na dapat dun sa ating statement of account is yung personal details ng mga investor. So that includes the name, the address, email address, contact number, and kung meron kayong mga ka-joint, dapat dun po nakalagay yung kanilang mga name. So for example, yung may details po na nandoon is mali, pero tama yung nilagay nyo sa form. So you have to let us know para at least po maayos natin. Kasi po kapag hindi natin maayos and you are going to redeem your shares, medyo mahihirapan po tayo, especially kapag yung mali is sa name mo. For example, yung Maria mo pala, M.A. lang, pero yung nalagay mo is buo, M-A-R-I-A. So kailangan po muna natin i-update yung account para mabago, para kapag mag-redeem ka, match na yung name mo dun sa may fund mo and at the same time dun sa iyong bank account para po hindi ka na mahirapan in the future. Next that we have is fund name. So this is just basically the name of the fund kung saan ka nakapag-invest. So vital to check this one since po 'di ba, isang folio number na lang yung binibigay sa atin ng mutual fund company. So baka kasi may mga tendencies na mangyari na invested ka in growth pero yung pinaglagyan mo or pinagdepositohan mo is naka-bond fund or naka-balance fund, ganyan. So kapag may mga ganung discrepancies po, you have to let us know para po maayos natin kaagad yung inyong statement of account para malipat natin yung mga dapat ilipat na mga funds. And we have here next the transaction summary. So this section includes all the transaction details that happened in your account. So if ever you are doing a peso cost averaging or regular investing, so lahat po ng mga transactions na yon indicated po dun sa summary. So dated wise, so lahat po ng nangyayari dated po siya. It could be an investment, a redemption, change of address, mobile number, ganyan. So anything po nangyayari included po siya doon. And also we have there the terms like NAVPS or the net asset value per share. So this is just the price of a single share of a mutual fund company. And of course, we have there the sales load. This is po yung tinatawag natin na entry fee. So it ranges also from 3 to 5% or from 2 to 5%. Depende po no, kung anong mutual fund company. Iba't iba din po yung ranges nila in terms of entry fees. And of course, hindi po mawawala din ang ating number of shares, kung ilan ba yung shares na nabili natin. So yun po yung usual na included dun sa ating transaction summary. Next that we have here is outstanding shares. So this is just basically the total number of shares that you have accumulated over time. So let's say nakapag-invest ka the first time, you were able to bought 100 shares, pangalawa 100 again, and pangatlo you have another 100, ganyan. So the total shares that you have is nasa 300 shares na. And of course, we have the current cost. So this is just the total amount that you have invested over time. And lastly, we have the market value. So this market value indicated in your account statement helps in assessing kung magkano na ba yung value ng pera mo as the date kung kailan na-generate ang inyong statement of account. So it could be mas mataas na yung value kaysa sa current cost, or baka may tendencies na you're still experiencing paper loss, or ibig sabihin mas mababa yung value ng pera mo kaysa dun sa total na ininvest mo. And that's usually the details that we can see in our statement of account. And now I'm going to show you sample statement of account from each of the companies that we have. Okay, let's start it. Let's start this with statement of account of SOLDIVO. So as we can see, dalawang pages po yung statement of account ni SOLDIVO. And on the first page, makikita natin we have here the logo of SOLDIVO Funds. But then next to it is logo naman po ni Atram. So bakit po merong logo ni Atram? It's because Atram is the fund manager of SOLDIVO. So they are handling all the assets of SOLDIVO, kaya po present din yung kanilang logo. And sa ilalim po ng SOLDIVO Funds, makikita natin yung folio number. So ito po yung reference ninyo whenever you are going to request for a statement of account, or for example, you are going to add to your investment. Ito po yung unique number na binigay sa inyo ni SOLDIVO. And kalinya naman niya here is the statement period, which is kung kailan nag-start mag-invest si client up to the date kung kailan na-generate yung kanyang statement of account. And the statement date kung kailan po na-generate yung kanyang statement of account. And we can see here two boxes. And dito po sa my right na box, makikita natin yung personal details about the client. We have here the mobile number, the email address, and of course, kung merong mga ka-joint account si client, dito po natin yun makikita, and kung anong klaseng investor ba, single ba siya, or may ka-joint ba siya, or either naka-interest for na account. So yun po yung makikita natin dito. And on the left portion naman, we have here the name of the client together with the address. And sa baba niya, this is what I'm talking about. So ito po yung transaction summary na sinasabi ko. We have here the name of the fund where client is invested in, and he is invested in SOLDIVO Strategic Growth Fund Inc. At yung mga details po na sa baba, ito po yung we need to check regularly kapag po ma-receive natin yung statement of account. So we have here the date, kung kailan nangyari yung transaction, and yung transaction type dahil nga nag-invest tayo, so naka-purchase po yung nakalagay kasi bumili po tayo ng share. So, amount indicated lang kung magkano yung ininvest na natin. And then, the NAV or the net asset value is simply the price lang po kung magkano yung share ng isang mutual fund company. And then, for the number of shares, paano ba natin makukuha itong number of shares? We have to divide lang yung amount doon sa NAV or net asset value para po makuha natin kung ilang shares yung nabili natin sa company. And then, for the balance shares, so, sinasum up nilang lahat ng mga shares na nabili natin. And we have here also the current cost, which is the total amount na ininvest po ni client, which is nasa 4,500 pesos. And the current value is 4,109.77. So, mas mababa po yung kanyang current value sa kanyang current cost. So, paano ba natin kinukuha yung value? We have to multiply lang po the balanced shares dun sa ating net asset value para po makuha natin. So, since si client meron na siyang 6,961 shares, i-multiply lang natin yon sa latest NAV na 0.5904 para makuha po natin yung latest value ni client. And now we go next with the second page, which is the account summary of client's investment. As you can see here, ito po yung sinasabi ko na most of our mutual funds, they offer one folio number for all investments as long as you invested in the same fund house. So si client, hindi lang pala siya nag-invest in SOLDIVO Strategic, but he is also invested in SOLDIVO Bond Fund. Kaya po sa kanyang bond fund, meron na siyang 5,134 shares na nabili, and sa kanyang strategic naman, 6,961. So for the current cost, both po medyo mababa kaysa sa kanyang current cost. So kung makikita natin yung value ng ininvest ni client, medyo mababa pa kaysa sa kanyang current cost. So that's what we have in SOLDIVO, and now we go next with ATRAM. So for ATRAM naman po, dalawang page din siya. Same with SOLDIVO also. Meron pong transaction history, and then yung isa naman po is daily outstanding shares report. So for the transaction history, makikita po natin dito yung CIF number or the client information file. So ito po, hindi po ito yung folio number ninyo. So customer info file lang po ito ni ATRAM. So we have here the customer name, and ito sa transaction details, medyo madaming details po na included sa kanila kesa dun kay SOLDIVO, no? So we have here the transaction ID, transaction type, subscription kasi po nag-invest tayo or nag-purchase tayo. And for the investment account, ito po yung folio number natin. So nagsa-start siya sa INV. So dahil this client, nag-open siya ng investment niya noong 2019, kaya po nag-start sa INV19 yung kanyang folio number. So we have the branch name at Ram Intermediaries, sales name is Rampver Financials Inc., and then the price date is kung kailan po na-book yung inyong account, with corresponding NAV nung araw po na yon. So, same with SOLDIVO, para po makuha natin kung ilang shares yung binili na natin kay ATRAM, we have to divide lang yung amount na ininvest ni client doon sa NAV para makuha natin yung shares. So, we have the fee type or tinatawag nating sales load or entry fee. So, dito po yung nakalagay. And we have the transaction status. So that's for transaction history. And now we go next with daily outstanding shares report. So ito parang summary lang din, same with SOLDIVO. So we have here the customer name, the customer information file. For the summary, we have here the investment account or the folio number na sinasabi natin. And also the settlement account, the branch code which is ATRAM, branch name, intermediaries, so the sales code of Rampver, sales name is Rampver Financials Inc., and investment manager, we have their ATR Asset Management Inc., and the shares, ito po yung total number of shares the client was able to accumulate over time, and the NAV at that time is 1.0369. So the current value or the amount po ng investment ni client is 35,376.74. So yun po yung included na data sa statement of account ni ATRAM. And now we go next with Sun Life or SLAMC. Ito po, same with ATRAM, medyo madaming details yung included. So we have here the statement of account. So yung nakalagay po kung kay SOLDIVO merong statement period, ito yung date naman, yung statement period naman ni Sun Life is para siyang naka year to date. So nag-start ng January 1, 2020 up to August 12, 2020. So we have here on the left upper part, we have the name of the client and yung kanyang address. And doon naman po sa upper right, ito naman pong account number, ito po yung folio number natin under ni Sun Life. So servicing advisor, so kung nag-open po kayo sa kung sino mang agent, yung pangalan po nila yung mag-a-appear dito. We have the account summary or fund in shares. So yung fund na invest ni client, hindi lang siya invested into one fund, but he is invested in Philippine Equity Fund and also Philippine Stock Index Fund. So we have there the remaining number of shares together with the corresponding NAVPS as of August 12, 2020. So currency, it is peso denominated, and then the current value of this account. So we have to multiply lang, no, para makuha natin yung current value. We have to multiply lang the number of shares doon sa NAVPS na meron tayo para makuha natin yung current value. So we have there, merong sa dulo, we have the ROI or return on investment. So dahil po naka-parenthesis po ang ating value, ibig sabihin po nun, negative pa po yung return ng ating investment. So later on, makikita ninyo yung current cost and then the current value ng investment ni client. So we have here the account details, fund in shares. So date ng transaction, so we have the application number, the sales load, the gross investment. So si client, yung sa kanyang Sun Life Prosperity Philippine Equity Fund, so yung ending balance niya, meron siyang number of shares na 4,586. And then yung NAVs nung time na yon is 3.1202. Kaya po yung current value niya is nasa 14,309.24. And then for Sun Life Prosperity niya naman, meron siyang ininvest na 20,000 pesos. And yung NAVs nung time na yon is nasa 0.8790 and number of shares that he has is 22,753. And we have here the return on investment or ROI for Sun Life naman. So kung makikita natin for the Sun Life Prosperity Philippine Equity Fund, so outstanding shares na meron si client is 4,586. Pero yung cost of investment na meron siya is 20,000 pesos. Pero yung current value niya nasa 14,309.24. So ibig sabihin, mas mababa. So kumbaga parang nalugi pa siya. So kung makikita natin dito sa may unrealized gain or loss, lahat po nakapaloob sa may parenthesis. So ibig sabihin po nun, may loss pa si client. So same goes with Sun Life Prosperity Philippine Stock Index Fund Inc. na account niya, which is cost of 20,000 also, pero yung current value is nasa 17,581.24 lang. Though ito, mas detailed, pero at least nakikita natin kung ano na ba yung gain natin or either the losses of our investment. So, merong portion for the amount and meron ding portion for the percentage. And that's it for statement of account of SLUMC. And now we go next with PhilEquity. This statement of account is somehow closest to me kasi mas madali pong intindihin yung kanilang statement of account. So we have here lang the account number, the account name, and of course the address, and kung anong fund ka po naka-invest. And diretso na siya sa mga transaction summary. We have the transaction date, kung kailan na-transact yung inyong mga account, and yung transaction, kung subscription ba yan. So kung redemption naman, dyan din siya malalagay. And we have the number of shares, kung ilang shares yung nabili mo, with the corresponding NAVPS at that given date. So net investment or redemption. So kung magkano yung ininvest mo, yan yung mag-a-appear dyan. Pero kung nag-redeem ka naman, yun din yung malalagay dyan. And the reference number. Ito kasi nakatotal na siya sa baba and sunod-sunod. So somehow mas madali siyang intindihin. So we have the total outstanding shares, which is this client was able to accumulate 799 shares with a total net cost na 24,125, and yung NAV as of August 27 is nasa 29.3101. Market value niya is nasa 23,418.77. So ibig sabihin po may loss pa siya, which is nasa 706.23 or 2.93%. So, yun lang po yung statement of account ni PhilEquity. Ang dali niyong basahin. And now, we go next also with PhilAm or PAMI. So, for statement of PAMI, this is the same with SOLDIVO. So, we have here the folio number, the statement period, and then the statement date. And of course, yung personal details about the investor, we have the name, and then the address, and the mobile number, email address, and of course, kung anong type of holding ba siya, single investor ba siya, naka-joint ba siya. And dito sa may transaction summary, makikita natin, this client was able to purchase PhilAm Fund, and nag-invest siya ng 87,702. So, purchase yung nakalagay with the net asset value at that time na 18.8286. So, client was able to accumulate 4,501 shares. So, kung makikita natin, ito po yung changes no, sa account ni client. Nag-change po siya ng address. So, dated din po yan. And the current cost ni client is nasa 87,000. Pero yung current value niya, nasa 68,983.68 lang. So, ibig sabihin, medyo nag-i-experience pa siya ng paper loss dito sa kanyang account na to. And we have also a summary. So, same with SOLDIVO, the summary lang is kung ilang shares na yung hawak or the unit balance, the current cost, kung magkano yung ininvest ni client, and then of course, the current value. So, that's it for PhilAm. And now we go next with First Metro. So, for the First Metro, makikita natin of course the logo, and below that yung name of the client and then the address. And same with Sun Life, pareho sila ng location for the folio number. It is located upper right. So we have here statement of account from March 1, 2010 up to March 16, 2020. So client is invested in Save and Learn Equity Fund or SALEF. This is peso denominated. So dito na nakalagay din yung parang summary na din ni client. So, shares owned. The net asset value nung March 16 na 3.8231. So, yung current value ng investment niya is 66,449.30. And makikita natin dito, ito po yung transaction summary, kung kailan na book yung kanyang account, yung transaction niya dahil nag-invest si client. So, this is subscription. Kung magkano yung in-invest niya. So, we have here 9,800, 4,900, 1,960, and so on and so forth. So, for the net investment or net proceeds, so same also with the gross investment. And we have here the corresponding NAVPS and kung ilang shares yung nabili niya. So, we have here the COR number lang or the replacement COR number. And dito sa pinakadulo niya, makikita lang natin yung kanyang closing balance, kung ilang shares na all in all yung nabili ni client, which is 17,381. At makikita din natin yun dito sa taas, yung shares owned niya. And that's it for our statement of account. We have tackled 6. So that's it for our mutual fund statement of accounts. I hope I was able to explain it clearly. And if that's helpful, hope you guys can give us a thumbs up. And one of our managers, Ms. Sila Mangune, was able to release a content about how you can monitor your mutual fund investments. So if you want to learn some more, you can check that out. And thank you so much for watching. If you wasn't able to subscribe it, just click down the subscribe button and also the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you in our next video.